Hey, we are doing series of videos for you to pass the Live in the UK test. And why are we doing it? Because those of you who know me know that I have been living in England for 17 years now. I come from Czechoslovakia. I have been teaching English. I love this amazing country. I love the language. And after 15 years, I decided to take the test and become a British citizen. So I will be talking from my experience. And of course, I've got Sarah with me, who is very British, speaks beautiful English, and she knows a lot about the history and everything you need to pass the test. So this first one is all about the format of the exam, the structure. I will put all the links in the description. And at the same time, we will give you some tips, hopefully help you to pass the exam and to even go further with that. Okay. Something going on.
Right.
Okay, so the test is computer-based. There are 24 questions and you have 45 minutes and you need to pass 75%. So that's quite a lot, but you have 45 minutes and if you prepare well, you will be absolutely fine. You must book the test online and it costs £50. If you fail, you can retake it as often as you need to until you pass. So this is nice, but it costs you a lot of money. It can be expensive.
Yeah.
Now, we are going to give you some tips about the test. So the first one is motivation. You need to know your why. Why are you taking the test? We thought that your reason, your motivation, your why should be bigger. See it as an opportunity to improve your English.
Yeah.
Improve your English and, well, you are becoming a British citizen. So after you pass the test, you will live in this country.
Passing the test is phase one. Having achieved that, which is a great achievement, now you are a British citizen and now you have to live as a British person to fit in.
Mm-hmm. The test is a means to an end.
It isn't an end in itself.
Exactly. So that should be the beginning.
Yeah.
The test should be the beginning to a new you, to
a new life.
A new life in a new country. Yeah, so this is how you should be. So the motivation should be intrinsic.
Yeah.
It should come from here. Yes, you have to take the test, but see it as an opportunity to learn new things, learn the new culture, improve your language.
Improve your life.
Mm-hmm. That's one. Yeah. Okay, so know your why, but know the bigger why. Number two, buy the official guide. There are so many practice tests online and guides, but buy the official one.
Yep.
Yes, okay, number three, take the official practice test. The study guide comes with practice tests, but again, you can have an app, you can have more practice tests online. Just make sure they are official. You know, they are credible sources and take as many tests as possible. Also, number four, when you take those tests, don't only memorize them. Don't memorize the answers. Don't just drill it. Why not?
There's a reason they ask the question, and it's more than just the question. They're asking, do you really understand how the government works? Do you really understand when women got the vote? All that. It's more than just the question, it's what surrounds it.
Yes, so have a look at the language, study the language, learn the new words, and also see it in context. Try to understand the history, the culture, the politics, everything. You want to become a British citizen. Yeah, and it will serve you later. And also, if you memorize the answers 2 hours after the test, how much will you remember? Yeah?
Yep. I just would say, as a British citizen all my life, obviously, some of the questions for me are quite tricky.
They are.
They are not taught, some of this is not taught in the schools, and Most of them I know, but there are some that I most definitely do not. And I think a lot of English people wouldn't either. So good. I wish you good luck.
This is so true, and there are so many dates, so many. You know,
Yeah.
English has a rich history.
I'm afraid, yes, it's a very long history.
Amazing.
Sorry about that.
Yes, it's amazing. It's fascinating, but they have, you know, you have so many kings and queens, and it's so
It
confusing.
would be much easier to be an American as history is only, what, 200 years old or something. Or
So-
South Africa, for God's sake. You know, England, we got from the, before the Common Era, BCE.
There's a lot of information, and there's a lot of facts to learn. So that's why we want you to, we are going to make these videos interesting, inspiring. We will talk more about, as I said, Sarah knows a lot about the history. So she will always tell you some fun facts about some of the monarchs, some of the historical events to make it fun. And we want to make it entertaining, inspiring, at the same time useful and practical. So that brings us to the next step. Have fun.
No one ever learned anything that they didn't enjoy.
Enjoy it. Don't look at it. Don't see it as a test. See it as an investment in you and in your language and in your life. Nice. So the next one is watch some films. And Sarah has got a list of the films we recommend. So number 1,
The Crown.
she is not very keen on The Crown.
The problem with The Crown is that it is not a documentary. It is a fictionalized version of what happened, because remember, nobody knows what was said inside Buckingham Palace. Nobody knows what was said in private. A lot of it is guesswork. And it annoys me, but it is a history. Chronological history. I'll give it that.
And as we said, you can learn a lot. At least it's chronological.
Yeah.
Yes, so that's one thing. And secondly, the language is beautiful. So you can learn the language from there. And yes, don't take it as a study guide, but as a kind of like supplementary.
Yeah. Gives you an overview.
And I do love it. But I don't love your second choice of the films, The Vikings.
No, I don't recommend The Vikings. I recommend...
But some people do recommend The Vikings.
Okay, because it's a very good and it's a good series. It's good fun.
So The Vikings.
But if you want the history, the series is called The Last Kingdom. And that is historically accurate and takes you back literally, honestly, historically accurately to Alfred the Great and Ethelbert and Ethelred and all those Anglo-Saxon kings who were fighting the Vikings. And that is accurate, which I like.
Yes, Sarah is a very
Because I'm a bit pedantic about these things.
That's good.
For that, 4 Weddings and a Funeral.
Oh, yeah.
Which is a lovely, lovely film. And it's funny and it's sad.
And it's with Hugh, what's his name?
Hugh Grant. But it does show you the English, I hate to say it, middle classes. And it is delightful. And it gives you a very good idea of the general culture. And it really does. It's a good one. And lastly, we would recommend Lawrence of Arabia, which is post First World War, i.e. 1918, that era. Lawrence was an Englishman who was on the side of the Arab nations at the time because they were promised their own nations. But the British government betrayed Lawrence of Arabia, and it shows Britain in not a good light, but it was a long time ago, and it's a very good film.
It is. When you become a British citizen, you will have the freedoms, but also responsibilities.
Yeah, one goes with the other.
Yes, and here we would like to talk about the British values.
Democracy in this country is universal over the age of 18, and we vote for our local parish councils and our borough councils, and obviously for Parliament. And it is taken very seriously.
It is. So that's number 1. Then the number 2 was rule of law.
Indeed. The police. We, I think, still on the whole in this country respect our policemen.
They have authority.
And we respect them.
Despite the few
there's always
stories.
bad apples and so on. But on the whole, the British policeman, I think, is probably better than many around the world.
Yeah, totally agree. And
they didn't carry a gun.
They do, yes, they don't carry a gun, but some do in the dangerous
Well, they have
areas.
to, on special occasions, they will arm themselves, but on the streets, no guns.
Yes, yes, yes. The police officers do not carry guns. And
Individual liberty.
individual liberty.
Absolutely. There is, for instance, there has been for many, many, many years an area in Hyde Park called Speaker's Corner, where anybody can get up on a box and talk to the crowd about anything they want. And that is free speech, and that is absolutely sacred.
And that's the next one. That's the freedom of speech.
Yeah.
That's the next value. And then tolerance. This is a big one.
Yeah.
I find British people extremely tolerant, friendly and tolerant. Do you agree?
I would like to think that that is true.
From my experience, it is.
You hear stories, you know,
Of course, yes.
but I think
As a nation, you are very
I think
tolerant.
as a nation, because we do have so many different people living in this country now, it is taken totally for granted.
Obligation to community. And Sarah is a fantastic example.
Yes, here
because,
I am.
Yes, doing these videos, helping. Well, I am a teacher. She helps me in my classes for free, in her free time. She just gives back to community, which is amazing. And so many people in Great Britain do this.
Yeah, the volunteer community throughout the country keeps this country running. All those charity shops, everything. People who deliver Meals on Wheels, people who, I don't know. The volunteers in this country are amazing. And not me personally, I
But you are.
Whatever.
Yes, but
yeah.
in some countries, people, don't have jobs and they sit at home complaining, watching television, hating their lives. In England, you volunteer.
Yep.
You give your time and energy and you make a difference, which is amazing.
Riding for the disabled, what else
Yes.
can I think of?
There
There's
are,
so many.
yes,
So many.
Yes, so many things that English people do. I think at the end we can only again say that enjoy the process. Do not rush it. Buy the guidebook. Do those tests. We will hopefully help you with these videos.
I would recommend also discussing it with your British friends, the native English people, and see how much they know. I think that would be very interesting.
And also then it sticks. Because if
Yeah.
you teach,
Talk
if you
to
teach
them
somebody
about
else,
it, yeah.
It sticks.
Yeah.
As always, don't be the same. Be awesome. And some people say that when you learn a second language, you possess a second soul. Well, even more importantly, when you become a citizen of the new country,
You have a new life.
you have a new life and you have a new identity. Thank you for watching. We'll look forward to seeing you next. Bye.